The district's first ever Puppy Bowl brings out the dog lover in us all.
Plus, DC Fire and EMS is empowering residents to save lives with its new program, Hands on Hearts.
And what makes the perfect DC bagel? We have the answer and much more coming up on this feature special of We Are Washington. You know, one of the things that we love to do on the show is to highlight the great made in DC businesses, products, and all the foods that are across the district. So today we're someplace that's taking a New York classic and turning it into a DC original. We're at Bullfrog Bagels. So we're inside now with Jeremiah Cohen. He runs Bullfrog Bagels, and I have to ask you first question, the most important question. Every city outside of New York, I feel like they're always trying to figure out that secret, that how to get that good bagel, the chewy bagel, the nice outside. How did you unlock that secret here in DC? How did you bring that here to DC?
Well, you first have to know what a good bagel tastes like. Right. And it's got to be a little bit like crispy on the outside and kind of chewy and moist on the inside.
Exactly.
And it can't be too light and it can't be too dense. And it's got to have a good like flavor, almost like a malty flavor. And if you're missing any of those, it's not a good bagel.
How did you know that there were people out there looking for this and how to get it to them, to do this and bring it to DC and make it here in DC?
Well, I saw that a lot of bagel shops in DC were either national chains that weren't even, they were like not boiling the bagels in the traditional way.
And that's a big part of it, right? You gotta boil the bagels.
Yeah, we boil the bagels. There were other bagel shops that were getting bagels sent to them from New York, frozen.
Oh wow, okay.
To then be potentially boiled or just baked off.
A lot of people, when they talk about making bagels, there's always, it's the tap water of New York that makes them special. But what about, what is it that makes these bagels made in DC for you, know, in terms of what makes them that classic made in DC?
Got it. Okay, so New York City tap water is delicious. You cannot, it is some of the best tap water out there. But they always said that you couldn't make, well, it was the reason for good pizza and bagels in New York City. Yeah. And DC tap water, which has been improving, wasn't always that great.
Okay.
Okay, and so basically people gave up on the notion that they could make good bagels here. And in New York, they, as part of a marketing scheme, in my opinion, they always touted that the tap water was the reason for the great bagel. All right.
Okay.
So the first, I think that's a myth. I think if the water is good enough to drink, it's good enough to bake with.
What's the perfect bagel? Like, what if you were to make a bagel right now for yourself for lunch? Like, what do you think is the perfect bagel?
Okay, well, I like the simplicity of it all. Okay. So I would take a poppy seed bagel.
Okay.
I'd run it through the toaster, put some butter on it.
All right.
And then I'd take some of our really good breakfast sausage and cut those links into half and sandwich them right between the poppy seed bagel. And then I would just like take a nice, happy bite out of that sandwich.
I have to see how they're made. Can you take us back and show us how they're made?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
So this is our bagel boiling station right here. And you can see that I'm not using a traditional kettle. I'm using a giant 120 quart stock pot. So
every bagel has to be boiled before they're baked.
Yeah, and also if you notice this, the liquid isn't just clear water. There is it's almost like a bronze.
Oh yeah.
Gold,
it's a
brownish dark color.
Right.
Okay. So these are pretty nicely proofed bagels.
Okay.
They're somewhat fragile, but they keep their form.
They do, yeah.
And let's walk over to the kettle here. I'm going to carefully drop those in.
You're smelling all of those different the bagels cooking, whether it's garlic, you smell like the poppy seed, the sesame seed, but all of it comes together in this really nice aroma. You know, just to walk into the place, it's like good morning. You know. Yeah,
I mean we're probably steaming some. We heat up pastrami that we make and corned beef, so you get sort of like that the peppery black pepper smell of the pastrami. All right, so.
Stand out of your way. I don't want to be in the way of the hot boiling water.
Look at that.
Wow.
Nice and shiny. They keep their form, and these are all hand rolled. So I'm kind of, remember, I'm operating out of a pizza mentality here.
Right.
So each bagel is like a little pizza. We use a pizza peel.
Okay.
We don't have a revolving oven, bagel oven that like weighs like 5 tons and takes up half this room. And so those are going to be nice poppy seed bagels.
All right. So they got to boil for, you said, about a minute or two. How long do they bake?
Well, they bake maybe 8 to 10 minutes.
Wow, there they are.
I mean, look at that.
That's some nice
that's
color.
kind of like a perfect bagel.
It's a nice color on it. Look at that. Yeah.
Wow.
And like I said, the smell in this place, and when they first come out of the oven, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, they're not, like, this isn't perfectly round, but I'll tell you, it tastes really good. All right, so it came out of the oven literally a minute ago. If you cut a bagel the way I'm about to cut it, 99% chance you will not cut yourself.
All right, I gotta see this then.
Okay, so ready? So I put the bagel flat on a cutting board. I push down a little bit, just softly with my left hand, and I go with a serrated knife like that. And I go about halfway, and then I turn it and go down.
Look at the steam coming off of that. Wow. Jeremiah Cohen, Bullfrog Bagels. Like I said, it smells delicious in here. Thanks for showing us around and how to make the now classic DC bagel.
I appreciate it. Thanks for visiting us.
Coming up, we'll show you how you can help with a life-saving program called Hands on Hearts.
Is there anything better than puppies? Puppies playing football. Don't go anywhere. You won't want to miss this.
Welcome back to We Are Washington. Today, we're talking about an important topic that you'll want to hear because it could save someone's life.
It's called Hands on Hearts, and DC Fire and EMS is using this technique to raise awareness and demonstrate how anyone can learn CPR and could potentially mean the difference between life and death when someone close to you has an emergency.
Today, we're joined by Robin Green and Sarah Roque of DC Fire and EMS to show us how it's done. So first, what is Hands on Hearts? Tell us a little bit about the program.
Hands on Hearts is a program that started 2015 under the Bowser administration with the idea of training individuals in the city on hands-only CPR. And hands-only CPR is a technique we train that we teach 8-year-old kids and older on how to give CPR to adults.
And I know you guys have had a lot of great success since the program was launched in 2015. So tell me a little bit about how many people you've been able to train and the feedback you've received.
So as of Friday, we've trained almost 40,000 individuals in the city. We've received really good feedback. People feel empowered when they finish our trainings, that they're really able to help someone when they're in need. And you know, our goal is to really train as many individuals as we can in the city. The idea is to be able to train individuals so that any one of us has someone around them who can help in the event we suffer a cardiac arrest.
Have you heard from anybody that you've been able to train over the last couple of years who's been able to come back to you and say, thank God I did this, and I'm so grateful for what you provided because I was able to save somebody's life?
We've actually had quite a few. Two of the most memorable, one was a young lady that we trained at one of the local cosmetology schools one evening, and the next day she went to work and a person at her office experienced a sudden cardiac event. And the other memorable story is, again, a person who works in the train in New York who read about our program here in DC, looked at the video, and was actually able to save someone's life in the train station in New York. And we brought him here and recognized him for that.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, when people come up and they're starting to learn, what are some of the biggest fears that people have?
First one is, am I going to hurt this person?
Right.
Yes.
And the answer is no. Of course, a person can't be any more hurt than they are right now, so all you can do is help. The second is, are you going to get sued for helping this person?
Oh,
right?
that's a great question.
And again, we have Good Samaritan laws that protect someone who, in good faith, acts to try to help someone. So CPR, again, is only to be done on a hard, flat surface. So for the purposes of demonstration, we're using the table, but normally it's a floor. Wherever an individual is, we got to get them to a floor.
Okay.
And so there are 4 basic things that we want a person to walk away knowing, and we're going to go into the details of it. That's check, check, call, compress.
Check, check, call, compress.
Yes.
When you say that somebody should be on a hard surface, does that mean that if they are not, you should move them?
Correct.
Okay.
4 C's: check, check, call, compress. The first C is check. check your scene and make sure it's safe and approachable. Once you deem that that scene is safe for you to approach, you move to your next scene. Check the person. You come to the side of them and you tap them to their shoulders. Hey, are you all right? Hey, are you okay?
Okay.
No response, okay? That person was going to do one of two things. Either they're going to moan, groan, or do something that they hadn't done before, but if they continue to lay there the same way you found them, most likely they're not breathing.
Okay.
You move to your third C. You pull out, most people have cell phones, so you pull out your cell phone and you dial 911,
Okay.
put it on speaker, and put it down. If you're
Okay.
with someone, like you two here, one of you call 911, one of you stay with the patient.
That's important
But
to
if
remember,
you are in a vicinity and there's no one there, you haul out for help. Hey, someone's not breathing, call 911.
Right.
And in the center of the chest is the sternum. Right here in the center of the chest, between the nipple lines, we want you to take your dominant hand, heel of the hand, and press it in the center of the sternum. Okay?
Like this.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you have to come to the side of them. You cannot
Okay, like this?
straddle someone in the front.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay?
I guess that's another important point is that you don't come up to them like this.
Right.
You have
It's
to.
either side of the shoulder.
Okay.
Okay. Dominant hand or whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay.
Okay.
Lock and load it with your other hand.
Okay.
Okay. Use your upper body and you push down. Are you all familiar with the Bee Gees song, "Staying Alive"?
Oh, who is
absolutely,
it?
yeah.
Okay. So that's the Hands on Hearts theme song.
Okay.
And you can do that.
Nice. Okay.
So you just push down to that rhythm. Hear that heartbeat?
So you're trying to push down harder. You're
At
trying
least-
to push down about 2.5 inches on the chest.
Now, will you be breaking anything when you do this?
You may, and that's okay. Again, you can't
Okay.
hurt this person any more than they already are. So we can fix the ribs in the hospital. We can't
Right.
fix the brain
Gotcha.
when the heart doesn't pump blood to the brain.
Would you expect to hear any kind of cracking or any?
Yes.
You might. Okay.
You may.
I think you need to push down.
So yep, push down harder. Don't be afraid.
How do you know if you're pushing down hard enough?
So you're looking to press down about the depth of your pinky finger.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
So
exactly.
that takes a lot of force.
Yes.
Actually, it's not. Okay.
Yep.
Oh!
You're gonna lock your elbows and you're
Lock
gonna
and
use
load.
the weight of your upper body to come down on it.
All right, and if you're interested in Hands on Hearts or CPR certification or any more information on life-saving techniques, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you and find out more information.
Hands on Hearts at dc.gov. We also download the Pulse Point app. So once you've received this training, go to the Pulse Point app on your Google Store or Apple phone or whatever device you have and download the app. That app will alert you whenever there's a CPR in progress in your area so that now with your new skills of hands-only CPR, you can go to the scene and help someone who is having a sudden cardiac event.
All right, thanks so
Wonderful.
much for joining.
After the break, is there anything better than puppies? Puppies playing football. You won't want to miss this.
You probably thought there was a lot of action on the field between the Eagles and the Patriots, but they didn't have anything on the adorable puppies who left it all on the field at DC's first ever Puppy Bowl.
Dog lovers packed the Columbia Heights Recreation Center, and we were on the field for all the action. And let me tell you, these dogs did not disappoint. They had the crowds on their feet for a high-scoring game with a little rough play and a few false starts, but just about the cutest thing ever. Take a look.
You are at our very first Puppy Bowl. For all the dog lovers out there, it brings me great pleasure to say, play ball.
How did you guys come up with this?
It was pretty simple. We have a lot of dog owners at DPR, and we're always trying to think of new creative ways to kind of engage the entire DC community. Our motto is we got something for everybody, so whether your family is a little kid or you've got seniors to take care of, or even one with 4 legs, we want to have something for you. So we were thinking kind of winter months, what could a dog do if you're a dog owner? You can't go outside as much. We want to have a play opportunity for you. We thought about the Super Bowl. Hey, it's easy. Make it Super Bowl themed and bring it all inside. So it kind of just grew from there because of people's love of dogs once the word got out. And now you have it, Super Bowl size. So that's kind of what we got.
And who doesn't love puppies? I mean, that's pretty universal, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the best thing to happen in this city, and I'm really on Team Harper right now.
Dogs can be unleashed.
But you're out here working. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on you. This is Super Bowl Saturday here at Columbia Heights, and you're, making the calls, and these puppies are, not giving you a break.
It's not even just that. We had to set up the field. People were here at about 10 o'clock in the morning. We had to paint this beautiful turf. We had to make shifts and goalposts, starting introductions, PA system, and then accommodations for all these awesome spectators that came out even though they don't have dogs. So it was a lot of work, but it's well worth it to see smiles on everybody else's faces, and then I get to see puppies. So I'm all in.
And that everybody loves to just see puppies. It doesn't really matter what they're doing. You're making the calls, though.
Illegal assistance by the owner. Illegal assistance by the owner. Placing the ball directly into the end zone. That's a touchback, ladies and gentlemen. That's coming out.
I feel like you're a little bit loose with some of the calls.
Well, it's tough. Points are hard to come by, as these are puppies. And if they put forth maximum effort, I'm willing to be a little bit lenient on certain things like fumbles, unnecessary roughness. I don't think I've thrown a flag. I've got one, I'm ready, but we haven't gotten to that point yet. So 28-14, I want a high-scoring game for the fans. I don't want it to be, a defensive slugfest. So far, so good.
And given the response, I have a feeling this won't be the only DC Puppy Bowl you'll be doing.
Absolutely not. We'll be thinking about ways to tweak it, ways to make it better, hopefully ways to make it bigger and involve more puppies, which is what everybody wants.
This is like the Tom Brady of the first Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're so glad we signed her up. It's so fun. It's great.
And how old is she?
She is 4 months. Yeah. Yep, and she's a rescue, so we're just so happy to have her.
Well, I think the Puppy Bowl lived up to all of the hype. The competition was
Definitely
fierce on
did.
the field.
It was. I'm already training my dog. I think I've got the Tom Brady.
Oh,
of
really?
Puppies. Yes. So,
Wow.
so he'll be there next year, and I'm planning on covering it again.
Well, the event,
Definitely.
it looked like a success, and I'm sure that they're going to do that again, right? You think that they'll probably do another Puppy
Definitely.
Bowl
I
after this year?
think they could tell that it was standing room only. Everybody
Right.
had a great time.
A lot of
Packed
people
crowd.
there.
Yeah,
A lot of people
more
there.
than they expected, I think.
A lot of people interested in watching puppies really just.
I think a lot of people just
Fight for-
interested in watching puppies.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us for this We Are Washington feature special. We want to remind you that we have more episodes that you can view on YouTube. Search Entertain DC. Don't forget to subscribe. And we're also on the radio on DC Radio 96.3 HD4.
See you next time.